Hey everybody, this time we're going to be playing a short gimmick quest called Link's Blade Crusade by, let me see, RedMageAdam. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not going into this completely blind. Yes, I haven't tried this one before, but I watched Epi's stream, so I know what to expect. Sorry. So right off the bat, we're given Furor's Wind, mainly to discourage using F6. And this is going to be another one of those quests where you have a lot of wandering around with no weapon. So for anybody who doesn't yet know, the gimmick to this is you don't get a sword at all. Instead, you have to find something to use as a substitute, which is the idea for the experiment here. It's wanting to know how well does a Zelda quest work without an actual, your main weapon. East, north, south, east. Oops. Okay. Crap. Didn't mean to do that either. Alright, let's see. Oops. Oops. East. North. South. East. Oh! Okay, that was close. No! Alright. Let's try to get back. Hopefully without dying. Yeah, we're dead. $10 says I don't make it. East. North, south, east. I'll see you back at the boomerang. Okay, we're back. Now let's grab it this time. Okay, we got it before anything bad could happen. Okay, let's try this now. So yeah, this is gonna be our main weapon. And it doesn't kill everything. Great. Well, I like using an upgraded boomerang. It's different. Not that I actually use it that way very often, but it does seem slightly unfair that I can shoot diagonally, and nothing else in the game can't. Of course, I'm not complaining. I don't actually do that often. At least not unless I'm actually... And when it's your main attack strategy, the fact that you have to wait once you miss helps balance it out, so it's not completely overpowered. I hate levers. Okay, now we have an actual dungeon. Maybe I'll have better luck here. You know, I always hear this music used in Sonic hacks. It's not a bad song, it just doesn't seem like it's really that fitting for a Zelda game. Still catchy though. Now, if I remember right, when Epi was streaming this, the candle is hidden somewhere in here. There we go. And it's a very obscure way of hiding the candle. If you saw the original stream, or when it gets uploaded on YouTube and you watch it then, Epi was convinced that you were supposed to fight the what do you call them, Moldorms with bombs. You actually pull it off too, which is pretty cool, except you're not supposed to, and it was a huge pain in the ass. If you're going to hide the candle like this, have somebody somewhere just let you know that you got it, you know, in here, or where to find it. You don't even have to give it away. Just, you know, out of many, one can move. You know, because it's the room with all the blocks. More blocks than anywhere else. Was it intentional to have this guy impossible to see? There we go. Now I just have to nuke all the rest. You know, it would be extremely overkill, but it'd be awesome if this boomerang could shoot beams like a sword. Okay. And goodbye, Feror's Wind. Wait. What? Okay. Why is that happening now? Note to self, avoid A button switching. It doesn't seem to ever play nice. Oh, okay. So what keeps me from just hiding in my own flames? The problem with the candle is you can just use it like a normal sword, just slower and with more range. Because now it, you know, yeah, it moves slower, but it stays on the screen longer, and, you know, it makes a good enough sword substitute. It kind of kills the point of the gimmick here. Useless guy. See, this would be a good spot to put that candle hint. Actually, no, because the Moldworms are here. I think the one thing I'm gonna have, or that makes the biggest difference, isn't the fact that the boomerang deals damage, it's that the boomerang doesn't stun. So it's just by instinct, people are gonna play the game, throw the boomerang, and think they have that extra moment's peace when the guy's still coming towards them. Nothing? Weird. Okay, there we go. See, it's just too much like a sword. It's too tempting to just spam it. Maybe if you were to cut the damage down by a lot, so that it compensates for the fact that you can get an enemy to camp inside your flames and take a lot of damage. Why do you have blocks around the battlefield? I mean, the doors are already locked, so it's not like you're keeping the player in anywhere. And honestly, you could leave them a way to escape in case they came in without the candle. Ooh, or even better, have a timed warp that leads them out of the dungeon, and then take them to a screen where there's a guy that says he saved Link because he didn't have the right weapon. Because that'd be kind of interesting. He would keep the player from getting too frustrated because they locked themselves in a room that they can't escape. So I'm going to call it there. I did the entire first dungeon and a good part of the overworld multiple times. So let's see, the good stuff about this quest. Well, the gimmick is, it makes the game feel a lot different. You have, well, not only do you have to get used to a weapon other than the sword, but you also have to get used to the changes in how it works. Not only that it actually deals damage and it's a viable attack, but also that it's not going to stun enemies. You can't throw it in a desperate situation and get a second of breathing room. I liked the overworld was, there was a lot to explore with it. Without being too big, or at least the area that I explored. Of course, I had prior knowledge of where to go, even if I didn't quite remember it completely. And the dungeon wasn't pretty good. I mean, it wasn't too long. It didn't overstay its welcome. Like, for example, ones like Lost Isle, a lot of people like the dungeons, except those take forever. You start playing that, if you have no idea what to do ahead of time, you're going to be there for like a week. Maybe that's just me, I get lost easy, but that's besides the point. The problems with this quest, let me see. The boomerang is hidden really far from where you start without being given any clear directions. The old man that gives you Farore's Wind, maybe he could point you out, there's a beach to the east that may have something, something may have washed up that you can use, or something like that. The candle was hidden way out of the way. The only reason I was able to find it when I did was because I had already seen where it was. There needs to be some way to tell the player where it is. Because honestly, you can play through that dungeon and get trapped, in that boss room. So either leave a hint for the player telling them where to search for the candle, or make there be at least one room in the dungeon that requires the candle in order to pass. Burn this in order to get through. If you don't want to make it as obvious as a bush in there, the rest of the dungeon's blue. You could probably pass it off as a nice dungeon. With the put a few ice blocks in there or something. And the other problem is the candle may not be the best choice for your first optional, not really optional, it's required. If the boomerang's going to be your main weapon, then the candle is a bad choice for a first sub-weapon. Because if you think about it, in the original Zelda game, your sword only stabbed directly in front of you and did decent damage. The candle only attacks in front of you, but can deal a lot of damage because it lingers, plus it has better range, plus you can lay it down as like a wall and knock enemies away from you, and it does almost as good a job at keeping enemies away as the boomerang used to. You're not stunning them, but you're not, they're going to be constantly knocked away from you if you use it right. Once the player gets that candle, there is no reason whatsoever for them to ever want to come back to the boomerang, except for grabbing things. Now, it's not a boomerang-themed quest, now it's a candle-themed quest. Because everybody's going to use the candle. There is no reason not to. If you want to keep the candle as a, first weapon, then I would have to recommend lowering the damage it does to enemies to compensate for the wall of lingering flame. Reduce how many flames can be on screen at once from 2 to 1 so that the player is more likely to plan where they want to place it instead of just plopping down fire everywhere like I did. And, reduce the damage, reduce how many can be on the screen at once, and probably make it so the flame hurts Link. Because that way, even after they lay it down, they have to be careful, because otherwise they're going to get hurt. You need to make the candle as unappealing a weapon as possible in order to prevent it from just being a straight sword replacement. Because otherwise, well, like you saw me playing, that's what they're going to use it as. That's your new sword. Honestly, it's even damn better than the first one. But yeah, this was actually kind of fun to play. Honestly, when I watched Epi play it, it gave me ideas on some cool, things to do with Link's items. Mixing and matching what does what and different ways to combine them. Which could be a fun way to tackle this quest. Don't just change the boomerang, change everything. It was pretty fun, and I'm not sure if I can see this becoming a full-length, quest, 8 dungeons in Ganon area, but I can see a mini quest, like 4 dungeons or something, unless you can find a way to push this gimmick a lot further than, here's a boomerang, have at it. But yeah, seeing what you do with the idea later, there's, I can't think of anything right off the bat, but I can tell there's some potential there for a unique direction to take a quest. I look forward to seeing what ideas you can come up with. Could be fun.